Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, Love and Keto, Ron's Weight Loss Journey, and I'm Ron. Well, if you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning member, welcome back. And if you're a new member, could you please share, like, and subscribe to my channel? It helps other people know when they post the latest video like this one. And before we get started, I'm not a medical doctor, I don't make any medical claims. This is all based on my own personal journey and my own personal research, so please do your homework first. So today marks the end of week 86 keto results, and I wrote down a topic title called Closer Than Ever because at the beginning of the week last week, when I ended the week, I was 213.7 pounds, and we decided to do a ketovore, carnivore, and BBBE, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. And we decided to do like 2 days of each and switching it off every other day. And then finally, yesterday being Sunday, we ended up doing a keto day. I had first cut steak. I cubed it up and I fried it up in the first time ever using the cast iron skillet, and I'll talk about that in a little while. And I made a buttery sauce with some asparagus, and that was really, really good. So when I weighed myself this morning, I weighed 205.7 pounds. So I lost a total of 7.6 pounds for the week. Now, at one point, we actually had our weight down to 204.7 pounds, and I goes, this can't be right. Now, mind you, I'm weighing myself up without clothes on, and if you put your clothes, your sneakers, or shoes on, you're going to weigh in about 2 or 3 pounds more. And if you go to your doctor's scale, then your chances are you're going to weigh in more even on that. But I'm really happy, down 7 pounds for the week. So now let's get into the week and what we did for activity. Well, Monday, we had the Reynolds funeral, and my final thoughts. I wanted to apologize to the family. I was up in the parish doing photography, and I wasn't supposed to be, but I deleted the photographs with the request of the family. And but there wasn't a couple other photographers that were doing the same thing that I was, but and I'm pretty sure they didn't have permission either. So now we're just going to move on with it and continue doing some city photography. And yeah, so if I sound a little hoarse this morning, that's because I got a cold. I caught a cold about Wednesday or Tuesday last week. I think it was called the outside activity that I had done for the funeral and everything. And so anyways, we did a lot of walking this week. I'm just going over my itinerary for the week. I kind of try to keep it kind of brisk because I do have a cold and it's really bothering me a little bit talking, and I'll be sipping on my coffee if I need it. And yeah, so one day I went over to Barrett Park, and I didn't go to the Doyle Estate because they're still filming the movie over there. That's about all I did that way. I was really down on myself for a couple of days, and I couldn't figure out how come. And then Wednesday morning, I woke up with a full-blown cold. And then Thursday, I went over to the Leominster Eagles to do another sentinel job on a ribbon cutting ceremony. And I wasn't too happy with everything, how this happened, because I'm going to explain. The photos were fine, people marvelous, but I'm having issues with the publisher. So I sent him 3 photographs, and he said, I need more information other than just people and the names. So I told him basically what I knew about it. One of the photographs he questioned was, it looked like somebody was drinking water when he was really drinking champagne, and he wanted to know why he was drinking water on the stage. But I took a group photograph of everybody, and he was drinking champagne, not water. So now I have to go to every little stinking detail, what's in the photograph, what they're doing in the photograph, and I'm getting frustrated. And it's not worth the aggravation, the money, and I don't care about the money. It's not the point. I don't need the money. So, and I'm just doing this to help them out, and so anyhow, I had called up the girl, the family that, you know, that's involved in the ribbon cutting ceremony, and I asked her to give me some general information. She hadn't gotten back to me on it yet, and here it is Monday, and the event was Thursday. So I sent the publisher a letter, and I said, I'm not doing this job anymore. I'm done with it. If I happen to be on location, I'll be more than happy to take photographs and submit them for you. I don't want to have to worry about getting any more information other than what the event was about. And I don't want to have to worry about getting names, because I'm not playing those games anymore. I don't got time for that stuff. My wife and I, we got a lot of personal things going on in our life for health-wise, and I'm very concerned. And I don't want to get into an issue with that, but it's causing conflict, and it's causing some situations with my wife and myself, and I don't need the added stress. So right now I'm taking a backseat burner from that. And so I'm just dealing with a cold. So let me take a sip of my coffee and I'll talk in a minute. Just give me a break. So then Friday morning I got up. I was really hoarse because I was hacking all night and I couldn't deal with it anymore. So we went to bingo Friday night. And so anyways, I said to Betty, she said, the girl that helps, well, she runs the bingo more or less. She's like the manager of the bingo hall. And she says, how you doing, Ron? I said, I'm not doing that good. You mind if I just go home, come back and pick up my wife and my friend? And she said, why, what's going on? I said, I can hardly talk and I'm going to lose my voice before the end of the night. And I don't want to overstrain my voice right now. But she said, yeah, sure, but you want to play? Because I can have the other girl run the floor for her, one of the girls there. And I goes, well, it's up to her. I mean, I'll probably either or. I mean, I could sell charity tickets before the bingo starts, and I had my mask on, and and she said, well, I'd rather have you not, because I don't want you to spread your germs all over everybody. So if you just want to sit down and play, just relax, and you should be fine. So we did that. So those are about our particular bingo. We have progressive coveralls, and the coverall reached $3,000. It was 58 numbers or less, and then it drops down to $400 for the payout. And the last 3 or 4 weeks, people have been missing it by one number. So when she asked me if I wanted to play this Friday, I said, yeah, all right. I had the money to play because we got I filed my taxes that Monday at the senior citizen place, and we got back our state tax, and that Friday we got back our federal tax, and I also got my Social Security check Friday. So I was kind of like, had a lot of loose cash. And when I played Friday night, I said, all right, I'll play. So I got my, when I went blind, got all my paper strips and stuff like that, and early. And okay, so when they got up to that game, before that game even, my wife hit 150 on a pull tab, so her and I split it. And then she won a $25 game. I let her keep that. So when we got up to the $3,000 game, I'm down to 3, and it's like 55 numbers or 54 with 3 numbers to go. 4 numbers to go. So I needed an O and 2 ends. When they called the O, put me down to 2 ends. They called an N, it wasn't my N. So then I'm looking up, and the next number was an N. It was N33, put me in for N41. The girl that called, she's Charlotte. She says, that was bonus number. There's no winners here in number. She goes really, really fast. And then Mary Ann, she stepped up and she said, wait a minute, Charlotte, there's one more number to go. We got 58 numbers to go. So when I looked up, it was an N. And when she was flipping around, I saw 1 at the end, and then I saw the 4. I knew I had it. So when I called Mary Ann over to read my paper off for me, and I had my hands like in a prayer mode there, just hoping I didn't make a mistake. I wouldn't even care if I had to split the game on anybody. But when I hauled bingo right on the 58th number, and when they said and it was a good payout, a good game that they had won, I was by myself, and then I had to get up and go in the back room and fill out some paperwork for the tax man for next year. So they cut me out a check for $3,000, and so I deposited the money Saturday, and the money will be clearing off of there this week, so we can start using it and put some money away in the bank and leaving it there. And so you would say I had a really good week and a day. So paying the way forward now, Mary Ann said to me, remember I played for you, I worked for you. And I said, okay, I remember that. So when I see her again, because they're not going to have the bingo this coming Friday because of Good Friday, because it's a Catholic church, I'm going to pay her way forward one night. I'll just give her some money to play bingo, regardless of whether or not it be that night or then she goes to New Hampshire on Saturday. And just because I want to. And I've known that young lady for many, many years. She's a terrific lady. We had some issues the first week with her and I because I didn't know what the program was, but we're over that. And so I want to thank Mary Ann for working for me that night, and that came out real good. And then Saturday I went to Staples looking for a printer because I wanted one, and I hadn't had one in a long time. And with all the stuff I do for keto and my weight loss journey, and now it'd be easy to print out my notes instead of hand sketching my notes. I bought a printer. So I got one for $209. It was HP, and I went to Best Buy's, and I was going to go to Walmart. Staples had one for $209, which I wanted. I really liked it. Problem was they didn't have any on the floor. They would have had to order some, and I said, all right, well, I'll come back to Staples then. And they said, well, let's go down to Best Buy's and I'll see what they got over there. Then Best Buy's had the same exact one, and they had them in the store, so I didn't have to wait for them to get the order. Now, if they didn't have them in the store, I would have probably ordered it at Best Buy's, but I brought it home with me Saturday. I didn't feel like setting it up Saturday, so then Sunday morning when I got up, I completely ripped apart my back area, my office area, cleaned everything all up, got all the dust and mountains of dust inside my computer. I wiped down the wires, the desktop, everything. And it took me better part than the whole day to get everything back together. Finally, about 4 o'clock, after I figured out what the IP address was and the password and everything, I got my printer going and I started printing out my first page in my note, what we're talking about for today. So Saturday when we went shopping and we went at Walmart and I bought some paper for the new printer, and I was going to buy some printer ink, and then I priced it out. Amazon, actually, the printing ink for my printer, it's actually $30 cheaper at Amazon, so we're going to order some Amazon. And yeah, so then I bought a cast iron skillet because I always wanted one. And then Sunday we made I put a little bit of olive oil in it, got it smoking really hot, and I cubed up some first cut steak. That's one of my favorite cuts of steak, and I seasoned the steak really well. And then we fried it up in hardly any time at all, and it gave a nice crunchy taste to the steak. And then I put a little buttery sauce over the steak, and it was to die for. And then for a side dish, I did asparagus in the oven. I roasted asparagus, and that was really, really good. So that was kind of like a keto meal. And then basically I've been having keto meals and carnivore meals all week. And we got involved in a walking challenge for the month of April. I turned in my step challenge, walking steps this month. I got about 12,000 steps in this week. So I did pretty good. We're going to try to really push hard this week for steps. Friday morning, we went to the chiropractor Friday morning, Dr. Gallagher in our city, and he did a complete evaluation on me, and he had me step on the scale and measured my height and all that stuff, and he told me one of my legs is shorter than the other leg. And we suspect we got a problem with the hip area, so Monday being today, we're going to go down, and he set up a work order for me to go down and have an x-ray on my hip, and we're going to see where we're going to go from there. And I think it might be just out of line, but I mean, I don't know. He's going to check it out. We're going to see what can be done about it without having weight loss. He's going to check it out without having to have surgery on my hip. And he goes, we have a lot of different options now. And he can give you silicone injections and almost anything that, we could do. And surgery is the last thing that I would really, really, really want. So that's pretty good. And so this week there, we just kind of step back from the city activity. I'm still taking a little bit of a breather from that. We got a beautiful week coming up in the 60s. A couple of days I saw 70. Easter Sunday is supposed to rain. Not sure if I'm going to make a usual ham or if I'm just going to go out. I'm not really sure right now. Yeah, so everything's been good. The weight's continuing to fly off. We're going to continue doing the carnivore, keto board type thing. I saw a recipe that I want to make, and I got the ingredients for it. Strawberry cheesecake with only 3 ingredients: heavy whipping cream, strawberries, and a block of cream cheese. And some powdered erythritol, which I have all that stuff. And if you're doing keto, you should have that stuff in your house all the time. So it's very easy to make. You don't have to bake in the oven. There's no eggs that are involved. You just need a hand mixer. It's pretty much simple. And you can use fresh or frozen strawberries. And I'm going to use frozen strawberries because I think they're just as fine. And I use the unsweetened frozen strawberries. Boy, my throat's killing me, guys, today talking here. But anyways, I don't know if I have anything else to say. I just wanted to keep this kind of brief because of my cold, and as you can tell, I'm losing my voice. But we're going to continue on with the weight loss journey, and at some point this week, or maybe even the following week, I should be under 200 pounds in Wonderland. and I'll probably have a huge celebration video. I don't know what I'm going to do yet for that, but I am thinking about taking a couple $100 of some of the cash that I got and just having a heck of a shopping spree. Now, I did send out for a camera lens that my aunt let me borrow this past weekend, and I absolutely fell in love with the camera lens. It was $400 and something for the camera lens, and I went, as soon as that check clears off of there later this week, I'll be sending out for 2 more camera lenses, and I need to get a camera flash and just a couple small things, so accessories for the camera, and then I should be good to go. But yeah, that's all I wanted to tell you guys about. But remember, you guys are amazing. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting me. And you know, again, if you're looking for inspiration in other YouTubers, I have links below the videos on who I follow. Steph and Jess from Keto Rewind, and Steffi from the Incredible Steffi. Those 2 girls are, you know, ladies there, they really inspire me to keep going. And also God does. So when I get down and depressed, and like I did this past week, and I won that money in the parish, and for the bingo this past week, I felt like, you know, God was watching over me and said, Ron, now I saw what you did in church here that day. Don't worry about it anymore. Just move on with it and just deal with it, and just go on to be plain old Ron. And that's what I want to do. I just don't want any job that's going to be pressuring me. I just can't deal with anything like that in my life right now. I got too much stress going on right now. It's very important for me to continue on with the weight loss journey and continue to get healthy. And once we figure out what's going on with the hip, we should be fine. Skydiving might again be on hold. Don't know until I get the okay from the doctor. But if he feels that it's not a good practice for me to do, I'm not going to take a chance of landing on my leg and tearing out my pelvis or anything. But, you know, there's other ways I can celebrate. I don't have to skydive. I'm not afraid of heights. But I'm just putting that out there. But if you got health issues with you, and you know you don't want to take a chance of hurting yourself either, you know, because I've had setbacks over my course of my journey and my weight loss, and I don't want any more setbacks at this stage. We got the hip issue now. We know it's the hip issue, but we're going to deal with it and we'll correct it. But anyways, enough said of that. I'm going to let you guys go. Remember, you guys are amazing. Love you guys. Be watching for week 87. And by the way, happy Easter if you celebrate Easter. And remember, you guys are amazing. Love you guys. Stay safe. Stay healthy.